More work on the taco. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. We are doing some more work today on the Drift Tacoma. Pretty excited to dive into this thing. We're gonna start working on the interior, getting some things tore out of there, getting some goop off the doors, and just really getting into this and diving into it. We may get to scuffing it up today, but I'm not gonna try to push it, so let's just get started and see where we get. First things first is I've had this door panel off for quite a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and tear off these vapor barriers. We're putting some sound deadening stuff on here, and that goes over the holes anyway, so we'll get that stuff off of there, get this like butyl stuff off of there, that like super goopy stuff that sticks the vapor barrier on there, and we get the speaker out of there, all that kind of stuff. I do want to make some like race car style like pull straps for the doors here. It shouldn't be too hard. It really just pulls this little rod here to undo the latch. So maybe I could just make a bracket here or something like that, put a strap in here and pull it this way to unlock the door or unlatch the door. Shouldn't be too hard. I want to figure that out. And then, yeah, we'll just start getting this stuff out of here and cleaning it up. We'll probably scuff up the door as we're going because we're going to respray the whole truck. If you guys are just joining us, we're going to repaint the whole thing. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's get this barrier off of here and get started on the door. These things are always so gross. I did this on the Evo, and it was actually way worse than this. I'm surprised with this truck being as old as it is, this stuff is not like just smeared all over the door. I'll throw some shots up here of the Evo, and that stuff was smeared everywhere. It lost its line, and it was just smeared and goopy. As you can see here, this stuff was pretty gross. It was smeared everywhere. Get this super cruddy speaker out of here. These are blown anyways, but we're gonna do a full like sound system in this thing. I keep doing the quotes for the drift truck thing. We're gonna be styling it like a drift truck. And I do want to try to do some drifting in the truck, but I also want to have like pretty full interior, stereo, things like that, to where it's more of a daily kind of drift truck as well, and I can still use the truck for things, stuff like that. So it's not quite a full drift truck, I guess you could say. Cut this right here. That'll allow for that to come out of there without getting goop all over it. Pliers, some picks. I'm gonna pull these little, oof, these are the little door plugs for the panel. Every one of them broke off, they're so dry rotted. Now I should be able to just pull this thing off of here. We'll see how goopy this is and see, man. It actually still has some stick to it, which is just crazy to me. And I'm really just gonna be using a plastic scraper and some Goo Gone, and hopefully this stuff comes off fairly simple. It doesn't look as runny as the Evo stuff did, so hopefully this stuff is like so old and whatnot that it's just kind of dry rotted, and then it just comes right off. It's not like actually dry rot, but it's so old that it's like hard and lost its stickiness. Okay, after about an hour, we finally got this door cleaned up. It looks really, really good when it's all cleaned up and all the crud is off of there. Not just from the black stuff, but there was a lot of like just stuck on like just funk. And so this thing looks a lot better. I still want to paint it, but you know, it looks a lot better than it did, and it's clean now. So let's move on to the driver's side over there. Now, I would like to switch up my style on these videos, I think, about doing these little projects and things like that and make little series out of them. So like a series for the interior, a series for the exterior, making the videos, uploading more videos for one, making them shorter for two, a little bit easier to watch, a little more digestible, stuff like that. And so let me know what you guys think. If you like the shorter videos, longer videos, or you just like seeing content, I think it'll be a little bit better to have it a little bit shorter, but that's just my thoughts on it. But yeah, we'd like to hear your guys' opinion on that as well. Okay, let's see if I can remember how to do this. I took this panel off on the other side a long time ago, so we'll see if I can remember how to do this. But this thing, I have a lanyard. It's a Fortunato lanyard. Nice, thanks Fortunato. There's a little C-clip behind here, and you gotta like knock it out. And I'm pretty sure last time I used like a shop towel or a lanyard or something, but I figured out where it was, so this is where it's at, and I can hit the little prongs of it here, I think. And so if I can knock it out, that would be lovely. I gotta get it in there first. But yep. It's that easy. It's you just find where to go. So this little guy right here is in there, and that's what holds the little crank arm in place, and you just slide it through there, knock it out, and it comes right out. But yeah, that's how you get rid of the old school window crank off of the little arm here. These guys here should pop right out. That opens up to these two screws for the little armrest that comes off. All right, now we move up here to this guy. And that comes right out. Grab the bottom of the door. There comes the screws. Push that forward, pull it out. And then this thing right here should go up and out. And there we have it. This vapor barrier is already down in the daggone window. All right, now why is the speaker wires cut right there? Well, I guess it's a good thing that we're putting in our own wire and all that stuff. So anyway, moving on. So my door pull to the driver's side just broke off. The little plastic piece, this guy right here, that goes into like the little hook on the latch is so dry rotted that it broke off. And that's what we're left with. So I have to figure that out now. I guess it's a good thing I was talking about wanting to make some custom door pulls, huh? Plastic is off, now onto the butyl. I'm assuming that's what this stuff is. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. Oh, big scrape. But anyway, I'll jump back about another hour whenever I get all this stuff off of here.
A few moments later.
Literally almost an hour to the minute, we got this thing complete. Everything's wiped down, everything's clean. What a task. That will always be just a messy, tedious job. But moving on, I did notice there's a spot right here. There's a little bit of a rusty spot right here, so I'm gonna grind that down and I'm gonna put some SEM direct to metal paint on there for temporary coverage, but that kind of has me a little bit worried. It's not too far along now, I guess, but yeah, let's grind this thing down, put a little bit of paint on there and call it good for the time being. All right, as you can tell, it was starting to kind of eat there, but I think we may have caught it in time. We'll put some body filler or something on that right there and kind of sand it down and get it covered up, and then we can put some epoxy on this whole thing, and that should take care of it. I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna do what we can to try to take care of it and fix it. Got the SEM paint on there, and that should coat that just fine for the time being, and yeah, this door is now complete. Went ahead and also put some SEM right here. We had a rusty spot on the cab right here, and so sanded that down as well. That was just some surface rust. It wasn't really eating into it yet, so that was good. Got that on there to coat that and keep that protected for the time being as well. And I'm gonna just walk around and see if I can find any more spots. I mean, I know this spot right here needs it, but there's also a dent there I gotta fix. And also, if you didn't see the hood latch video, the metal that was like flying around was like on the paint, and now that has rusted. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but there's lots of little like orange speckles and little rust speckles, so probably gonna have to like clay bar this thing or run like a synthetic clay over it. I went ahead and removed the pinstripe as well on the outside here. Probably a little early to do that, but I wanted to go ahead and take it off of there. Just used a plastic razor blade, some Goo Gone, some alcohol. I know there's faster ways, but I didn't have one, and I wasn't gonna go buy one of those 3M wheels. This is a little more tedious, a little more time consuming, but honestly, I did this in about half the time as I did the inside of the door, so not too worried about it. As I'm rubbing this off of here, I am realizing that I knew it was early to do this, but I really could have just waited since we're sanding this down to bare metal anyway. I could have just sanded that off instead of doing all this, but oh well. And there we have it. All of the pinstriping is off the door, fender, cab. I gotta be honest with you, that took a little bit longer than anticipated on the fender. It was just, it was super dry rotted up there and it just kept chipping off, and that one was a pain in the butt. But it is done and now we can move on. I was able to figure this out and get this latch back in there. Even though the little piece is like, I can't show you, it's super dark in there, but way back in there, even though the little piece is like broken off, I stuck it in the little loop it's supposed to be in back there, and then I mounted it to the cap, and so it is where it's at, and so it can't fall out of there. But like I said, we're gonna make ourselves a custom door pull and have the little like racing latches and all that kind of stuff on there, so that'll work for now, but I'm glad we were able to fix that because I wasn't gonna be able to open the door from the inside. But I also need to look at this latch right here and see how this works back here. I may need to like fabricate a piece if I can't find something, and like it hinges backwards, so I'll have to take this back off and like examine that a little bit and see how the pieces go. But for now, that is done. Boy, was that stuff tedious. That took me hours to do, getting all that like rubberized stuff off of there. The driver's side wasn't as bad. I got more of it off in big chunks. But as I said earlier, I'm gonna go ahead and be shortening these videos up, making them more uploads, more digestible content, and I'll test that out for a while, see how you guys like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this one off here. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it very much as always. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you guys have done this task before. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.